Y'all ever do some impulse buying? Like some major impulse buying? That's exactly what this video is about. I went to Bass Pro Shops the other day, and Academy Sports and Outdoors, and did just a wee bit of impulse buying. I had some gift cards I needed to spend, and well, they were just good for Bass Pro, so I went ahead and spent them. So today we're going to do a little bit of an unboxing from Bass Pro Shops and Academy. I know this doesn't look like much, but this is literally what like $300 in a bag looks like. It actually doesn't look like that much whenever you lay it all out like this. I know it looks like a lot more whenever the receipt gets printed out, that is for sure. Let's go ahead and break some of this stuff down real quick. So the main thing that I actually went to Bass Pro Shops for this time around was a ram mount for the boat. Now I'm pretty sure that this Scotty fish finder mount is actually made or designed more for kayaks. I know I used one in my kayak, but this particular one's actually held my Helix 9 up on my dash mount for like a year and a half now. And now that I have upgraded to a new Lowrance 9 hook 2, I can't remember what all it is, at the dash, I'm moving the Helix up to the bow. So I went ahead and got this mount to hook it up to the bow with. I'm not really sure if this thing's gonna hold up or not. I might have to go with like a Kong mount or something a little bit more stable, but this was like the main thing that I went to Bass Pro for, and they had a few of them in stock. So we got what we mainly needed, the main thing that I wanted. Okay, now we're really gonna get into a few impulse buys. Mainly like this thing. This is a battery reader. I don't exactly know where the wires are or what wires feed to what on the front of my boat, so I can actually install this mount, the Helix 9 to the dash. I don't really know, so I got something to like read the voltage and see if I have voltage going to wires, and I may just like rewire the whole entire front end of the boat so I can make sure that I have the right like connections. Just completely redo the Helix as a separate thing and hook it straight to the battery instead of running it through all the different stuff that the front of the Nitro has made for that. Just run 2 brand new wires all the way through the boat. That's probably what I'm going to do, but I impulse bought this anyway. So first and foremost, it is winter time, so I went ahead and got another Alabama rig. Alabama rig is a huge thing to have on Kentucky Lake in the winter time, or just about any lake in the winter time for that matter. I also got some of the speed shads. They're just little shad imitation bait. I know that this time of the year shad are generally a little bit smaller if I remember correctly, so I went ahead and got some smaller size swim baits for some A-rig action. While we're talking about like A-rig or wintertime fishing, I got a whole bunch of these like flat-sided flicker shad style baits. I really love these. I don't usually buy like a lot of name brand stuff. If I buy anything name brand, it's going to be like Strike King, because I'm friends with some of the people over at Strike King. I really like what they do, but a lot of times like I kind of cheap out, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these companies make a really good cheaper bait. Berkeley on the other hand, these are they make a really good bait too, but these are some more affordable options. I think these come in at like $4 a piece, something like that. Nothing too crazy. They make for really good wintertime lures, and that's why I like them. They're nice, they're compact, they're not exactly huge, and they're good for, you know, wintertime fishing. These bluff balls, these pea gravel banks, stuff like that. I should have bought some in red. I didn't buy any in red. I actually did get a few of the XPS Crankbaits, Bass Pro Shops brand. They make some good crankbaits. Like I said, should have got some in red. These aren't exactly wintertime crankbaits. They'll catch fish in the wintertime, but you want more of a flat-sided, has a little bit different wobble. That's kind of what you want during the wintertime. But I did end up actually getting some for some reason these are in the bag. These are from Walmart. These are flat-sided. These are cotton cordelles. I've never seen these before. That's why I bought them. I'm sure some of you guys, you can probably say down in the comments that you have seen them. That one in particular, I've never seen before, and I think I bought like 6 of them, something stupid like that. While we're talking about wintertime lures yet again, I guess we'll go into some Jiggy Jig action. You guys know I love my jigs. I used to work with a jig company making the Trapper Tackle jigs that I used to sell on here. Those things were good. Trapper Tackle is no longer in business, so I can't get those hooks made anymore. I can't make those jigs anymore. So we're having to resort to other things. This is a Bass Pro Shops Enticer. It's a 3/4 ounce. More of a wintertime, summertime thing. It's not really a flipping jig, it's a football head jig. I use it in the ledge season, stuff like that. If I'm fishing a deep channel or something during the winter time in a creek channel, that's exactly what I use these for. This is black and blue. Black and blue is like my favorite color. I don't really use a lot of natural colors. You'll see some later on in this video, but 3/4 ounce football jig, 1/2 ounce football jig, that's kind of like my favorite jig to throw right now. Bass Pro Shops makes a good one with the Enticer. I'm not really sure what hook they use on this. So yeah, I mean, they're $3.99 a pop, which is, you know, about average, maybe a little bit less because these are 3/4 ounce, so these might be just a hair cheaper than your average 3/4 ounce jig. But yeah, they're actually pretty good. I like those. I've caught a lot of fish on them. Now another one that I really like to use around pea gravel and such is a finesse jig. Most people like using finesse jigs during the winter time when the bite's really hard, whenever you can't get bit. And this is one I've never seen before. I'm sure they've been out forever. I've just never seen them. This is a War Eagle heavy finesse jig. Now, a finesse jig usually is a pretty lightweight jig. I'm talking like 1/8 of an ounce, maybe like 1/4 of an ounce. These are heavy finesse style jigs. These come in at 1/2 of an ounce, which is, you know, not exactly what you would think of when you think of a finesse jig. Like, this is a little bit on the heavier side, and that's kind of the way I like it. I love heavier baits. I love being able to feel the bottom, and with a heavier bait you can feel a lot more. It's not as dense as tungsten. These aren't tungsten, but you can still feel quite a bit. They have a 3/0 heavy flipping hook in them. It's a lot different. I've actually never used these. I do, whenever I get finesse jigs, I do get heavier ones, the heaviest ones I can find, just so I can feel a little bit better. But these War Eagle ones, I've never seen them before. I actually bought natural colors for this one, of all things, and they look pretty good. I mean, they look like finesse jigs. They were like $6.99, $7 for 2 of them, so I grabbed 2 packs of them. Now we're gonna move on to, well, get some more wintertime lures. It is wintertime, and I bought a lot of stuff for wintertime. Now that I'm thinking about it, these are Shaky Jig Heads. If you guys ever fish in the wintertime, the Shaky Head's the way to go, especially on that pea gravel, those bluffy wall banks, that kind of stuff. Even if you're just bank fishing, if you're standing on the bank, a good Shaky Head is the way to go. These are 3/16 ounce with a 4/0, I believe, 4/0 hook, yeah, and it's a 5-pack. They were only like $3, $3 or $4, so that's a pretty good price. I know at like Walmart and like the spot remover jig heads, they're quite a bit more than these, and you don't get nearly as many, and these work just as well. I've caught fish on these for plenty of years. That's why I bought hooks in bulk at Bass Pro Shop. This is like a 25-pack, I think, and they were only like $4. These are really good hooks. This right here is, let's see, what are these? These are the Octopus drop shot hooks. These were $2.99 for 25 of them. Not bad at all. I know for like a 5-pack of another brand whose name I forgot, I seem to forget, they were like $5. So these are literally the same thing. I've caught just as many fish on these. And then I really love wide gap hooks, so we've got wide gap hooks on deck for all my flipping, pitching needs, stuff like that. So we got some, what are these called? Woolly hog crawls. These are good jig trailers. I got these for those jigs I showed you earlier, the football jigs. And then I went ahead and got some like Cinco / drop shots / finesse worm baits, and I got them in a natural color. I never fish with natural colors. These are green pumpkin with red flake. I never really do that, but I went ahead, I'm going to try it this year. I've always used black and blue and done really well. So everybody always says to use these, you know, more natural colors. So that's exactly what we're doing in this year. I'm going to try some more natural stuff and see if I like it anymore. Maybe I do, maybe I don't know. Last but not least, for Bass Pro Shops, you know, summertime is one of my favorite times of the year. It's whenever we go out and ledge fish here on Kentucky Lake, down at Pickwick, Chickamauga. Ledge fishing is key, and one of the big things that really sacks them up during the summertime is these big Flutter Spoons. Now, these big Flutter Spoons, they had them, I know a bunch of people that, you know, use them. I got a buddy that actually works for a company that makes them. He works in the factory with them making them, supposedly, or apparently, and they want like $20, $25 for a Flutter Spoon that looks exactly like this. Now, Bass Pro Shops, they sell their own Flutter Spoon. I believe no, this is just Bass Pro. This isn't an XPS lure. This is just Bass Pro's brand. These were only like $4 a piece, and they're the exact same things as the ones that are like 25 bucks. The only difference that you would really need to make to these that the big name, the real expensive ones has, is you need to put a barrel swivel on the line or the line tie thing, so you don't wrap up your line, twist your bait off, get your line all wrapped up and stuff. You don't want that. That's how you break lures off. Put a barrel swivel on those, and they're just as good as the big name expensive ones. All right, I gotta take a break from talking because I don't talk a lot, and that was quite a bit of talking, but we still have one more bag to go. This one is the Academy bag, and it's got some cool stuff in there. I actually found some really cool stuff at this Academy in Nashville. It was a little bit different than the one that I usually go to down in Jackson, Tennessee. This one had like just different. You'll see. This one had some different stuff. At least one big difference maker. All right, I didn't get exactly a ton of stuff at Academy, but I did get some controversial stuff, some things that people seem to argue about a lot. I guess we'll get right into it. I bought another pack of hooks, extra wide gap hooks. Bass Pro and Academy both sell extra wide gap and regular worm hooks in bulk. These right here were $3.99 for 25 of them, which is a really good deal. So I try to buy my hooks in bulk like this instead of buying smaller packages for the same price. Doesn't make any sense to me. Another thing that I got is some hard baits. I tend to cheap out on hard baits. I've already said this. I've got, you know, my buddy Crispin Pally. He works, he's like a higher up for Strike King, I believe. I don't really know exactly what his job description is. I hope he doesn't watch this because he'll think I don't know him well enough or something. I don't know. But yeah, I love their baits, but I also love these cheaper baits. A lot of them are really good. This is a H2O express lure. It dives 6 to 8 foot. It is a suspending jerkbait. I really like these Academy lures. I actually like the Academy lures more than the Bass Pro Shop XPS stuff. They seem like they're a little bit more, their actions are a little bit better. Now, I actually did get some red baits, some red kind of, I don't want to call them square bills, but they're deep divers. This one goes down to 6 foot. This one I believe goes down to 4 foot. Yeah, this one is more of a square bill. It's not exactly, but they're both in red colors, which is pretty key in the springtime. You know, we're kind of slowly getting into the springtime stuff, and yeah, it'll be really nice for that. Looks like I also bought another package of these hooks as well. This is the Model M and the Model S, not to be confused with the Tesla. A little bit different. Let's get into some controversial stuff, if you will. There's a big debate about tungsten. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Blah, 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 blah. I use tungsten from time to time. I kind of like the affordability of lead. I've caught just as many fish with it. But as I said earlier in the video, I like using, you know, heavier weights, heavier jigs, so I can feel the bottom. And you can't deny the fact that tungsten is denser. You can feel more with tungsten. And Academy actually had these pretty cool H2O Express 10 packs of tungsten. That was only like $5 or $6 for 10 things of 1/4 ounce tungsten. I was kind of curious to see if they really were tungsten. I bought another package of them. They're in the bag. I didn't take them out, but I actually did open the package up and feel them, and they are in fact tungsten. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, it is what it is. Tungsten is kind of nice to have. Controversial thing number 2, and one of my favorites. You guys may or may not hate me for this, but you know that I do like my Googan Baits. I really do. So I went ahead and got some more jigs. This is the thick jig, and I believe I got a juicy jig. Nope, I got 2 thick jigs, both of them in 1/2 ounce sizes. These are going to be for flipping. I mean, they're good jigs. I've used them before. I really do like the Googan Baits stuff. I don't understand why so many people dislike them. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I have had nothing but good experiences with Googan Baits, and even some of the people behind it. Yeah, like, I have no complaints about their baits. I don't see why anybody should. Even if they are similar to other people's baits, I'm pretty sure you can only reinvent the wheel so many times, and that many times is probably 0. Like, the wheel is a wheel, lures are lures. We got it. They're just gonna stay that way. So that is pretty much what I'm working with. That's what I'm rocking with for now into probably the summertime. We'll probably go back to Bass Pro Shops and Academy later in the year and see if we can, you know, kind of restock. We're gonna have to restock sooner or later. These hooks and stuff aren't gonna last forever. Trust me, I know. I lose a billion of them at a time, and that's because I set the hook into wood and such. Yeah, you know how it is. You guys do it too. I know that you have in fact hook set into a log that you thought was a 10-pounder. It's happened, guarantee it. But that's all I got for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed whatever you just watched. I'm not quite exactly sure. It was fun to do. Wasn't fun on the wallet, I can tell you that right now. Academy was the cheapest trip that I had, and we got some good stuff. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you right here next time.